Testing. There we go. Not sure why so sensitive to the slightest motion. I mean, it's easily fixable. It's just that if I don't have any, if I'm not paying attention or I'm not able to pay attention, um, I can just lose my mic at any time. Anyway, you like almost have a unique title card for each entry. I understand. I only got a like for one of my episodes of Fable 3. Huh. So, I want to talk a little more about Walter. Ellie, what the? Why do you have to immediately interrupt me if you're meowing? Huh? We're having a serious discussion about a serious video game, okay? There's no room for meowing in this discussion. Okay, there's all the room for meowing in this discussion, apparently. Ellie, really? You're gonna lay on my lap now? Ellie, no, don't do that. You always get grumpy when you're in that position. There we go. This is your less grumpy position. um, of course, now I completely forget everything I was gonna say. I get the gist of it. Like Walter's a pretty good character. Like I think I've sort of given him a positive. I gave him a positive for the banter that he had at the beginning of the game with Jasper. I feel like looking back, that positive is pretty much, in terms of the game as a whole, is more on, if we're looking at it as a characterization positive, it is for the game as overall. It is more for Walter than it is for Jasper. Um, I don't really feel like giving an additional positive for Walter by himself, simply because Jasper doesn't deserve a positive by himself. Jasper is wonderfully voiced by John Cleese, but his talent is wasted on being for most of the game he's just tutorialization, and for actually the vast majority of the game he's just repeatedly trying to sell us on the Sanctuary shop, which I have given a negative for. So, um, yeah. Um, And Walter's death just felt like there's even more of to be negative about there because I mean more reason to reinforce the negative. Ellie, I am not upset with you. I'm just trying to have a serious discussion here, okay? Like, why can't you be more positive? Because this game really sucks. If you're gonna be like that, you can't be on my map. Get away! I'm sorry, my cat is very temperamental, especially when she's laying on my lap. Um, especially when I'm streaming, which makes it feel like our relationship is. I don't know. If it's abusive, it's mostly on her end. It's definitely not on my end, like not in any way deliberately. I love her to bits, even though she's gone now. Oh no, she's looking out the window. Yeah, you go look out the window. You look at your cat TV. You'll have a much better time looking at your cat TV. Anyway, um, like it's kind of sad that he dies, but at the same time, it's like his death felt pointless. And by the way, oh, this is the point I was trying to make. I looked it up, and it does not matter if you leave him behind in the desert. There is no consequence for leaving him behind in the desert beyond getting evil points because they find his body and he comes out okay with just a smidge of possession. It doesn't kick in until a year later. Um, it's like again, like you might think, oh, it undoes my whole complaint about him not being affected. No, it doesn't really. Like that is literally the only indication that something is janky or hinky or whatever you want whatever term you want to apply to it. Um, is that he came out of being left behind in the desert after being blinded and and mentally assaulted by an eldritch horror. He's just fine. And like, I definitely like, I think I already said that. Like, I think at least for Fable 2 and Fable 3, there are no real for Fable 3 in particular. I think the boss design is just on a decline, a rapid decline from Fable 1 to Fable 3. And granted, that's just my memory of Fable 1. But I remember like the final battle of Jack of Blades is at least the original one, had design to it. It may have been kind of annoying design. Uh, I don't really remember much, but it was designed. There was design to the final battle of Jack of Blaze. It was an actual like unique encounter. And even Fable 2 kind of has a final boss fight. It isn't the main villain, but it is, you know, a fairly unique encounter. So I could give that to Fable 2. I still give a negative for the fact that the final confrontation, the main villain, was just you go up to him and shoot him. But I mean, there's something poetic about it, maybe. But um, like in hindsight, I could have given it an information positive and an interaction negative. I do believe I gave it an interaction negative. But again, I don't think it would change the final score of the game that much. Um, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think like the final boss fight is just getting less and less quality as the series has gone on. Also, I've heard that the new Fable is in the fighting stage, which I never even heard the term fighting in all my years of like following video game news. Like, is that a beta or an alpha or like? Let me look that up. Oh, flight test. That's aeronautical engineering. Video games. Well, that literally leads to the Fable, the articles. Um, it might be. It says might be in the flight testing phase. Well, that's just really weird. Because that's not. Why do they call it the flight test? That's not an actual term. There's alpha and beta testing. With flight testing for the upcoming Fable game. It's from LinkedIn. Huh. Okay. I just never heard any stage of video game testing being called a flight test. I mean, I imagine if there haven't been any development hell issues, um, like it's really hard to say because I think that maybe a lot of our lack of information is probably due to what we might be able to call now the cyberpunk effect. I think that game developers may be more afraid than ever um to reveal um details about their unfinished games because they're afraid that it's going to, that if it's not in the final game, there's going to be a shitstorm. And I think more developers are maybe probably trying to work harder on I guess a marketing level to like not create false expectations. It's probably even a combination of Cyberpunk and um, probably No Man's Sky to some extent, to a lesser extent, but probably Cyberpunk is the biggest thing. Even though uh, CD Projekt Red was very transparent about features being dropped before release. They were very transparent about like how buggy and unfinished the game was, but at release. But uh, whatever. Like, why would you be transparent about that? I mean, they were in some ways trying to obfuscate just how terrible it was. So I guess that it was my bad, but or their bad. But whatever. But let's go back to talking about the game at hand. I want to actually like work on
Are you going to open that gift, do you think? You did
what
go to some
what
trouble to
what.
get it, I remind you.
It's so freaking weird. Oh, it does actually show how many seals we have, and we don't have enough. Um, Trader's Keep. We do the Wheel of Misfortune, but why would we do that? Um, the Prophetic Hermit. Okay.
I have the best goods for sale in all Aurora.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you could do it. There's this wise man who lives in the desert. He's prophetic, really kind of a hermit. We call him the prophetic hermit. Anyway, he has gifts. He can see the future and talk to the dead. Like this brain in this jar. It's dead. He could communicate with it and dispense its wisdom. I'd deliver it myself, but the desert's got so dangerous recently, I wouldn't make it alive. You, though, Your Majesty, you're a hero. You could get through. It would cause you no trouble. Will you take the brain for us? You'd win over some of the
Brain and brain. What is brain?
And he has many. And he'd give you his predictions as well. Knowing the future, would be of great value to a monarch, I would think.
Sure.
Want to buy goods from a shop owned by a famous hero?
Excellent. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm sure his predictions will prove useful to you.
Not really, though. Okay. Let's get random experience for being nearby. Let's. Do you have XP to give me? Oh yeah, I did.
I'm going to set up an import-export business.
But no XP for him.
It's buried out there somewhere. I know it is. Somewhere in the burning sands. If only it wasn't so dangerous. It's buried out there somewhere. I know it is. Somewhere in the burning sands. If only it wasn't so dangerous. Oh, Your Majesty, perhaps you can help. The temple here in Aurora commissioned me, Himmelkar, archaeologist extraordinaire, to retrieve a holy relic of theirs that was lost in the desert centuries ago. I found the general area in which the relic is said to lie. It is remote and infested with terrible creatures. But you are truly mighty. You can fight these things. If you could retrieve the relic, the temple will be very grateful. I'm sure. You see, it's a statue of a long-dead Auroran hero called Tanar the Great. Once recovered, they'll display it prominently in the temple. This is a very important piece of Aurora's history. Of course, all those who worship at the temple will know it was you who found the relic. This will earn their loyalty. So, Your Majesty, will you venture across the burning sands in search of the statue?
A lot of you.
Sure, I guess.
Always good to see you around here.
The people will be very pleased, Your Majesty. Remember, the desert is very dangerous. Do be careful. Especially once you have the relic.
Unless there's some compression issues. You can barely hear it at times, but I mean, it makes sense. It's an Xbox 360 game. I still think the flourish concept is really that I also haven't found a creative villager thing. I'm assuming it's part of Trader's Keep. This is apparently both an achievement and a quest.
Seeing you brings back memories of wanting my eyes gouged out. You
I wonder if I should even bother with these damn side quests. I kind of just want to be done with the game at this point. I do have like a thing I can unlock on this gun that requires me to do a certain number of quests, so
Hello, sir. Nothing to report, Your Majesty.
oh, this is the outpost. That's probably why I couldn't do these quests. A lot of these quests probably
At your service. Sir.
involve the outpost to some extent. I don't know.
At your orders.
But they literally live in a shoe. Where's the old lady with a bunch of orphans? I can't have their
At
orphans.
your
Is it the...
service, my king.
What? Okay. Have we really dealt with the crawlers?
You'll be
If
getting
their
some
forces
more
are
of
still
that,
out here.
believe me.
Also, I have to say, like, the fact that the crawlers totally defined doesn't really
Plan over until you're dead.
bother me.
That's my plan.
Because, I mean, they're a sort of elder chore. So, but
At your command.
what does bother me is how they're just... is again their lack of power, of any real presence in... I mean, it could just be stragglers. At least they're the cool looking ones. Oh, there's a statue.
If you're not too busy, you might have a look in the sanctuary.
Oh, it's the rare flowers. I'm not gonna do that. Gift wood for driftwood. Dang it. Really? It's in a
Those are
friggin'
nice
desert flower.
shoes. But don't you think your grand's feet are cold without them?
Hey, I got a Bob hairstyle. I can finally look like Bob.
Welcome to the sanctuary. Some new garments have been added to your wardrobe.
Is that the Bob hairstyle? That's the Bob hairstyle.
Whatever you say, or don't.
Okay. I bet there's like one more hairstyle I don't have that I might want.
Any other business to attend to?
I'm sure I'm gonna do all the side quests. I mean, like, I should give a negative for like the fact that like we're coming close to dying so much in this game. thing is that dying doesn't really mean much in this game, so that kind of just offsets it to the point that it's a watch. I forgot to shoot that gnome. But if I didn't shoot that gnome earlier, whatever. I'm not going for 100% completion by a long shot. Oh, that's cool.
I sensed your presence before you even arrived.
What did you eat?
You stink, you mongrel. Either you rolled in something,
Are your dog dead?
people love a virtuous hero. You know why?
Because people are idiots! I hate them. Excuse me, you have time to get stuff?
You certainly are a big, strong hero.
For a lady.
Why, thank you.
Seems like a very nice person. I kill nice people, you know. You know. Hell, you starve and die.
Well, needs a big, strong man.
You know it is, lady.
Well, on top of everything else,
I feel like celebrating today. Because today's the day you die. I was hoping you'd come round. I could use a good laugh.
Transphobe. I don't know if Gnome only says that if you're cross-dressing or if it's just literally what do you say regardless. Really?
Greetings, Your Majesty. I knew you would come even before you arrived. I saw you come over the horizon. What brings you to this place? Ah, a brain. Did my disciple send you then? Excellent. A long time has passed since I had a fresh delivery, and all the old brains have said their piece. Now, let me see. Ah, the brain speaks from beyond the dark veil. Yes? Yes? What? Oh, how rude. You never know what you're going to get when you talk to the dead. That fellow had quite a mouth on him. Metaphorically speaking. But no matter. I thank you, Your Majesty, for the delivery. My people and I shall not forget you.
By delivering you brain, you've gained some of the Hermit's followers and earned his gratitude. The brain is grateful as well.
Lend me...
Ah, hello.
You know, I take it. There's. My God, there's so many. There's so many new quests. I don't know how many I actually want to do.
Tanar the Great. It is magnificent. I shall return it to the temple immediately. Next time you visit the temple, it will be on display in pride of place. We cannot thank you enough, Your Majesty. I shall ensure that everyone knows what you have done.
Well done, you found the long-lost statue of Tanar the Great. You won over the many Auroran followers with this deed.
Any other business to attend to?
They need a letter delivered. So these might be interesting. I don't think any of them sound. There's lots of sports that wants you to escort you to the safety district for the tail collectors find him. Brisbane has an interesting position for you. I don't know. Like, I am so anxious to like just get this game done and out of the way. Let's see how our wife and children are doing. I tell you, this door is still locked. Yep, that's so freaking weird. I'm not gonna give that a negative, but it's weird that there's locked doors. Like, why even bother with having this passage here? Honestly.
Majesty. My lord.
This made me think of you, Dad, so I got it for you. Ma's chirpy today. What have you been doing to the men?
At your command.
I don't know if this means we can have up to 3 children maximum, or if Ellie, please.
Today's a good day. I found 4 yellow bugs today, and 1 worm. Daddy, can I come adventuring with you? I wish I was like you. You're so amazing. Unbelievable.
Attention!
That is sick. Literally.
Service, my lord.
I got you a present for the best dad in the world. Hello, superhero.
I will not stand around being insulted like that.
Ah, it's the great ruler.
My lord.
At your orders, Your Majesty.
I love the number of children as like the direct result of our action. So I guess that's I don't know if that's the positive or just
my lord.
I want you to have this. That's just the sort of thing I like.
Ah, hello.
just way horse. Sure.
That appears to be all of the gifts.
Ellie.
My lord. Majesty.
Then he tried to sell me this basket of strawberries.
Sir? At your command?
I hope you're comfy, Ellie. Because I'm not that comfy.
Your Majesty. It seems like an age since we last had the pleasure of speaking. The awful attack on the kingdom, Walter's tragic demise. Terrible, terrible business.
Sure, tragic.
Still, we mustn't dwell on the past, must we? There is much to do. Dealing with the aftermath of recent events, bolstering the morale of the people, and many, many equally riveting issues. So, if you are ready, Your Majesty, shall we proceed to the throne room and begin?
Okay.
Wonderful. I assure you, you will be entertained, engrossed, and elated. This is our best royal schedule yet. So I will arrange an audience with the Blacksmith Association, and we can clear this tax dispute up in no time. 2 or 3 days of negotiations should settle it. Now, on to much more important matters. The hiring of a new head gardener. As you know, the rose bushes this year have suffered some minor discomfort due to the inclement weather and less than salubrious soil management. I have arranged an interview process that should take no more than 8 weeks, starting tomorrow morning. It should make for a
Oh no, not that guard. He was my favorite guard.
But lest we forget matters of state, we really ought to begin a more considered census of the population. Estimates of the number of citizens vary widely. I suggest each one comes to the throne room and has a...
Is it too late for an audience, my king?
Well, give me a chance to read the note.
Who are you? I've come from far away to fulfill my destiny. To get revenge for everything you've done. How many innocent people have you sent to the keep? I don't know what you're talking about. Your lies won't save you now. I've spent years in a cell, thinking about this moment. Did you think you're safe here, Your Majesty? Did you think your guards could protect you? I know all about guards. They couldn't keep me in the keep, and they couldn't keep me out of your castle.
No.
This is the end of the kingdom. Albion will be free.
Oh no, he killed
it's
me.
time for the people to rule themselves.
I lost experience.
I am well trained in the art of murder. I've never killed a king before, though. I am the instrument of change. I am the voice of revolution. The world doesn't need the crown. It doesn't need the throne. You're a relic, Your Majesty. Nobody will mourn your passing. Nobody ever mourns a tyrant. I came here alone, but I represent legions. You will never defeat us all.
What happens if we're like a
hero.
evil
That doesn't
king?
make you a god. It doesn't give you the right to rule a country. I wish General Turner were here to see you die. Such a pity you'll never meet him. We will return Albion to a more pure state. This castle will burn to the ground. Your family invented the monarchy, but it has no place in our land. Everyone imprisoned.
He's actually more difficult than Walter.
Will be set free.
Not even a good way.
To die for what I believe in. Are you?
What's the point of even? He seems to be. My God! Oh, for frick's sake!
You think you're safe now? I'm just the first of many. We will kill you in the end.
My king! An enemy ship is approaching.
Do we actually get scars? Scars are still a thing. Are there scar removal potions? I remember there being scar removal potions.
There are soldiers on board!
Who are they?
Get ready!
They're almost here!
Hold steady!
They look like elite soldiers. What the hell is going on?
I don't know, but they're as good as dead.
We are at your service, Your Majesty.
Who are you?
I'm Commander Milton. We came in pursuit of the man who attempted to take your life. I knew he would not succeed, but his escape dishonors us all the same.
The man spoke of a place called the Keep. Is that where you've come from?
Yes. Ravenscar Keep. It's a prison far from this coast, and we're the soldiers sworn to guard it.
Another of my brother's secrets.
If you'll come with us, Your Majesty, I'll show you. The Keep is where Albion's worst criminals are held. The most dangerous enemies of the Crown. It's time our new king saw it for himself.
Hey, please. No, just stay here, be calm. Oh no, she's doing that thing.
Welcome to the Keep, Your Majesty. Albion's secret prison. Your mother made use of it. Your brother Logan made use of it. Now, it is yours.
Oh, I
had my men prepare for your visit, so the cells should be ready for inspection.
Is it safe? Recent events have made me somewhat wary of convicts.
There are plenty of harmless political prisoners imprisoned by Logan, but over the years we have accumulated some rather dangerous individuals. And there's none more dangerous than General Turner. He led your brother's armies for years, until he became obsessed with ending his rule, with abolishing the crown altogether.
Oh my, yes. General Turner. He attempted a coup on your brother and declared he would bring about the end of the monarchy in Albion. Unfortunately, this was before Logan saw fit to execute all traitors.
I believe the assassin you killed was acting under his orders. We will conduct a full investigation into how... Something's wrong.
I knew it! This place is a death trap! I'm going to be torn apart by angry criminals!
This way, Your Majesty.
I'll stay here and make sure nobody sinks the boat.
Where's my dog? Is a no dogs allowed zone? Only kitties. Oh no, there's a kitty. There's a doggy. Ellie is upset. Don't worry, he's a mechanical dog. No, he should be a mechanical cat. And a she. And you. You should be in the game. I mean, you are kind of.
Lieutenant, what the hell happened?
Nobody quite knows, sir.
I named my daughter after
broke
you.
free. They started a riot.
I mean, you are
Got a lot of
already my
weapons
daughter,
and
but
killed
my
some of our
in-game
men.
daughter
We can't break
is
through.
human.
We won't be able to get through the entrance. There's a reason we call this place the Keep. Fortunately, I know this place better than any prisoner. Are you willing to get your hands dirty, my
down
king?
if you're gonna be mean.
Or perhaps
and
you would
angry.
prefer to wait here?
And
I
grumpy
may
all
have
the
become a
time.
politician, Commander, but I was born to fight. Lead the way.
With pleasure. The old sewer system leads into the lower levels. It's as secure as any other part of the Keep, but I can get us through. I wouldn't be surprised if General Turner was behind this. I've been the warden of this place for 7 years, and we've never had a prisoner like him. He seems to exert some strange control over people. But you can judge for yourself soon. It's impossible to get past this gate without the key, and I have the only copy, as this poor bastard found out too late. I should warn you, we'll be coming out into the prison's lowest level. We call it the Pit. The inmates down here are so disturbed they're barely human.
If pipes leaking electricity. Dang it.
Welcome to the Pit, Your Majesty. The most miserable place in Albion. Try to stay away from the cell doors. They sound agitated enough already. I closed this room down when I took over. The doctors who used it called it an electrical rehabilitation facility. The rest of us called it the torture chamber. Most of the men you hear screaming sat in those chairs every day. If they weren't insane when they came in, well, let's just say I'd rather die than be strapped to one of those things. We should be right under the rioters now. Here they come. Don't
I'm going to
We're not
close
exactly the
this
most
screen
popular
door
people
soon.
among convicts, are we? We need to regain control of the prison before this turns into a real bloodbath.
You might have a look in the Sanctuary shop. I'm quite certain there is something new in there.
Sorry, Ellie, it's getting chilly.
These were good men. Some of them little more than boys. This was never meant to happen.
How do you like that? Great stuff!
I knew it. This isn't a random riot. It's too organized. Turner did this. He sent the assassin after you not to kill you, but to draw me and my best soldiers away. Come on. If he's behind this, we need to find him before it's too late. They've broken into the armory. This is going to get interesting. Watch your back, Your Majesty. I never should have left the island.
Royalty or no, you're going down.
Never underestimate it.
Hey, duck next time.
It sounds like some of the guards are still fighting in there. They're going to need our help. If you don't mind your macarons,
Teeth, baby!
join my men. If General Turner is behind this, it won't be easy to recapture him. Whatever happens, we can't let him leave the island. I only hope our other more famous prisoners are still behind bars. I can't imagine what will happen if they're let loose. Nothing hardens a bandit like being locked up for a few years.
Glad that was you. Kill the damn dog!
There hasn't been a recorded riot in the keep for 2 decades.
Whenever I get to review
I've never seen combat skills like that.
Fable Anniversary is going to be interesting because I don't have it on Xbox 360. I have it on PSP.
After all this time being nothing but a warden, it's good to feel like a soldier again.
How's about that for skill then?
I'm not even sure, but it's gonna. I kind of want to do it as a review just because I've reviewed all the other games so far. So It's just that I'm not going to have a
The
live
cells of the maximum security
update
ward
like
must have
this.
been opened, including General Turner's. Come on, we have to get there before he can make a break for it.
Because at least my setup, like if my PC is free, I can just go and adjust the scores and type up notes very quickly. If I still had a functioning laptop, I could use that. Unfortunately, I no longer have a functioning laptop, so yeah.
This ends now.
At least you'll be feeding the local wildlife with your cold dead bones.
Nice hit! That's
Really?
mercenaries fight.
Are you kidding me?
None of you will escape alive. Just a few more, Your Majesty.
Good one! Slug the freak again.
Yeah, my eye.
Don't just stand there.
When these fall, the rest will surrender. The keep is ours.
You've massacred most of the crew, you murdering maggot.
Just watch. I'll find out that if Fable version doesn't work because I gave some game for Windows Live. Bull crap.
None of you will escape alive.
Ow. What did I do to my eye?
Where are the prisoners?
They're gone, sir. The cells were empty when we were taken hostage.
I should have known. Damn it, I should have known. Round up the last of the rioters and lock them up.
Yes, sir.
Missing? We have to get out of here. We'll be butchered.
You may rest at ease, Mr. Hobson. I don't believe they're anywhere on the island. The riot was a diversion, orchestrated by Turner. As long as he's at large, Albion is under threat, Your Majesty. But he isn't the only one we need to worry about. We will need to recapture all the escapees if we want to safeguard the kingdom.
Who are the others?
Professor Faraday was a celebrated inventor, and the brains behind most of our industrial progress. Until he turned on your brother. He's a mild-mannered man, but his creations could bring about the end of civilization.
Sure.
Mary Godwin, also known as Witchcraft Mary, was a highly skilled alchemist, though that knowledge rests in a very disturbed mind. She was convicted of witchery after they discovered her rather horrific experiments. I dread to think what she may do next. And I've already told you about General Turner, the most dangerous of them all. He must have been planning this breakout for months.
Where do we begin?
The records room holds all the information we have on our prisoners. My men can study the files for Witchcraft Mary and Turner. I'm confident I know where I can find Faraday. There's only one place he could call his home. One place he could believe himself safe.
Sure. I think my eye's okay. It's a little itchy.
I propose we sail there as soon as possible.
I magnanimously offer my services in this investigation. This study seems like a nice, safe place from which to serve the kingdom.
Very good, then. Your Majesty, I shall meet you at the pier when you're ready to hunt down Faraday.
There seem to be several entries on this Mary Godwin, or Witchcraft Mary, if that's what we must call her. Very little on General Turner, though. I'm sure I will have found a plentiful supply of information when you return, though. Good luck, Your Majesty.
Oh, bollocks. I've made errors in the count before, but never had this many men missing. No other explanation. They've scampered.
I don't freaking care. I'm just not sure if I'm equipped to mentally to review the DLC. I'm just not.
Faraday had a remote factory he opened up to the public before things turned sour. It's where he did all his work, and he's never stopped talking about it. I'm certain we'll find him there. But if what they say about his inventions is true, it won't be easy to capture him. Shall we go, Your Majesty? Clockwork Island. It was quite a popular tourist attraction some years ago. Faraday's inventions have changed the world, but all he really wanted was to make people happy.
Why was he locked up?
Nobody really knows. Your brother said he was a danger to mankind. As for Faraday himself, all he would ever say is that he'd rather die than betray his creations. I used to queue up for hours when I was a child in Bowerstone, just to get a glimpse of his contraptions. I still remember the slogan, Faraday Industries, where faraway dreams become reality. Well, those dreams certainly look far away now. I wonder what this was supposed to be.
Welcome, visitors, to Clockwork Island. I am Huxley, and I will be your guide. Please refrain from using obscene language in front of the children. Now, if you will follow me, we will begin the tour. Keep your belongings with you at all times, and try not to stray from the group.
I suppose we should do what he says.
We begin with what is yet to come. Astonish your senses, give flight to your fancy by stepping into the street of the future.
I'm starting to wish I'd paid this place a visit while it was still open.
Before you is an everyday Bowerstone suburb, as it will be 15 years from now. Yes, the future is in our grasp. Please walk among the citizens of tomorrow. Share in their joy, marvel at their superior well-being. You are so clever and so happy. In the world of tomorrow, there is no conflict, no jealousy, no selfishness. Thanks to science, people are finally happy.
Oh, so it's Gene Roddenberry.
Witness the idyllic lives of these model citizens. Marvel at the perfect lives they lead. Would you not want to raise a family here?
You're right. I wouldn't. Oh, wait.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening. This is the future that Faraday Industries can bring to Albion. Peace and contentment for all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, good evening, good evening, good morning, good evening, good evening, good morning. I do wish you This concludes the tour. We hope all your dreams have been fulfilled.
I know who you are, and I know why you're here. You will never get what you want. Never.
It's Faraday.
I'm ready for you, Your Majesty. I am most ready. And if it is violence you seek, then violence you shall have.
This is a security announcement to all our guests here today. Please take cover. The management accepts no responsibility for any mutilations, fatalities, or slight grazes. And now, presenting the latest in armed defense mechanisms, a round of applause for the Colin Mark II.
Oh boy.
There is no better feeling than sitting with a newspaper in your hand, a pipe at your lips, and a dog at your feet.
I think Do you think these things feel pain?
Wow.
I really hope to make it to our picnic. My wife and I
Electricity magic doesn't really do much. And I think it would stun them for like a decent amount of time, but doesn't really.
Faraday's just stalling us. We have to find him. Looks like the street of the future isn't that different to the street of the present. This is like So This is what Faraday's been doing in his spare time. Building a mechanical army. Is that why your brother locked him up? This is going well. We've only been here a few minutes and we're already
I'm
fighting
dying
for
more
lives.
here than I'm died anywhere else in the game.
Make cakes and enjoy them in a convivial atmosphere.
Like, are they responding to complaints that the core game wasn't difficult enough?
Perhaps we could cast our lines over a stream. 1 5 point.
Looks like the street of the future is going to be a dangerous place to live. I'm starting to see why your brother locked Faraday up. Come on, let's find him, shall we?
In light of recent traumatizing events, this unit has entered dormant mode. Please make your way to an exit.
I guess we're going this way.
I think there might be a way through here. How come this isn't part of the tour? Welcome to the graveyard of the future. Look at this place. Even the wall is falling to pieces. There's some sort of canal down there. Ready when you are, Your Majesty. I don't think we'll find a tour guide where we're going next. I'm rather curious to see what lies behind the futuristic veneer, aren't you? Shall we continue, Your Majesty?
No. I think I'm gonna call it quits. Prostitute boots.
I'm rather curious to see what lies behind the futuristic veneer, aren't you?
The park has been open for a whole month now, and I can say without reservations that it is an extraordinary success. The public adores my creations, and as I predicted, the street of the future is proving to be my greatest draw. Tomorrow I travel to Miss Peak, where I will oversee the maiden voyage of the improved monorail. I think this design is the safest yet.
Diary of a Sad Man. Dig spot. Really?
We can safely say this isn't part of the tour. What are those? Insects?
I have instructed my cleaning and repair crew to clear the canal of detritus. Now go away.
Faraday's built it. Careful, Your Majesty. They're far more dangerous than real beetles.
We'll see about that.
Imagine what would happen if these insects got loose in Albion. I don't care what they're made of, they're still disgusting. We're getting close. Faraday must be in that factory up ahead.
Why can't you leave me alone? I will never do as you ask. Do you hear me? Never!
What's he talking about?
He's finally lost what little reason he had left.
Rulers may believe they can impose their will on whomever they so wish. But I was born to make dreams come alive, not to create death. You have already seen the weapons your brother forced me to make, but they shall never leave this island, and neither shall I.
So that's why your brother had him locked up. He refused to build him an army. And he thinks that's what you...
Of course he has.
You are so clever and so happy. We could do this forever and ever.
Must I turn more of my creations into monstrosities? Leave us in peace.
I have a
The
feeling
Robo-Doggies.
these dogs aren't here to play catch with us. Bombs. Why am I not surprised? Get too close
So am I.
You need to kill them from a distance. Don't let them get too close to you. Don't let them get too close to you. I was always more of a cat person myself. I've had just about enough of this. Whatever he believes, he's too dangerous. Another dead end. There must be some way through.
I will use dead end.
Look how you corrupted my life's work. Haven't you seen enough? Perhaps you
I'm
need
really getting
more
sick of
evidence.
these walking boxes.
It is not polite to resist attempted murder. That is it. You can only put a civilized person so far.
If this... Stop them!
Bow down before me, you obnoxious sack of fluids.
They're relentless.
Cease your bleeding at once.
Logan must have driven him insane. He made him turn this place into a war factory. General Turner must have plans for all these creatures. That's why he sent Faraday loose. I think there's a way through the roof. Come on.
Incredible news. I have received word that King Logan himself is planning to visit the island. He wishes to speak with me in person. No doubt to congratulate me on all the advances I have made, and on transforming Bowerstone slums into a happy and productive place. I shall have to record a special welcome message for Huxley.
It makes me feel like we're only 2 pieces of the way through the dungeon, which makes me sad.
You've taken my work. You've taken years of my life. But you cannot take my soul. No, that is out of reach even to Albion's ruler. I will keep it water, and I will crush you with it.
We will never serve you. Faraday is our only master. He is also the world's greatest lover.
I'm really getting sick of these
walking
boxes.
There is no place on Clockwork Island for built like you.
If this technology ever gets out, it means the end of the army. Who would need a real soldier? Who'd want to... If this technology ever gets... Logan must have driven him insane. He made him turn this place into a war factory. I've fought a lot of strange things in my time, but today has to be the strangest.
You have been casting unpure glances at my wife, but I will show you.
Let's hope that's the last of them.
Right now.
This is it. The lost factory. He has to be here somewhere.
The health potion. Because those are just so darn useful.
What if it was all just recorded messages? He's been playing with us.
Is this the perfect soldier you wanted, Your Majesty? Well, you shall never have it.
Why did he even bother building them?
Protect me. I designed this suit to be the most powerful weapon that has ever existed. Allow me to demonstrate.
He Iron Man? Look at this, he's Iron Man. And the Iron Man movie had to actually come out at this point, so...
Why won't you leave an old man alone? Leave me alone. My creation.
Well then, I'm ready. Your brother destroyed everything I cared for. You may as well kill me.
We should take him back to the keep. We can take care of his wounds there.
What?
He's just
we want to kill him?
I'm not like my brother. You're safe now.
I sure were the other 3 volumes of the... Could be a situation where they're always, like, read out in order.
Thank you. I should not have judged you so hastily, Your Majesty.
You have been through a lot, Mr. Faraday. But now that we know the truth, your life will return to normal.
Very good. He will be released as soon as his wounds are healed.
Faraday no longer poses a threat to the world, but then he never really did. You can now right Logan's wrong and give the father of industry his life and freedom back.
Ah, my king. I have eagerly awaited your return. I have made an extraordinary discovery.
Just tell him what my men found out, Hobson.
Why, it was a wholly collaborative effort. Without my supervision, who knows when...
Just tell me.
Of course, indeed. As you know, the second prisoner is the alchemist and alleged witch, Mary Godwin. A rather foul and malevolent woman, by all accounts. We have uncovered files on experiments so grotesque, I don't mind admitting I lost part of my supper while reading them.
Get to the point, Hobson.
Yes. Well, it seems that before she turned to foul necromancy, she came from a well-to-do family. We believe she may be hiding out at her grandfather's long-abandoned and rather opulent estate.
I have the coordinates. I'll wait for you at the pier. The sooner we capture this woman, the better.
And I shall continue leading the investigation into General Turner. There really seems to be so little information on the man. It's as if he had taken his records with him.
Well, he may have.
When you least expect it, that's when it's
We only have like one scar.
If you don't mind me saying so, Commander Milton could learn some manners. He may have spent years living among miscreants, away from civilization, but really, it's no excuse.
Ooh. We really need to do like a audit or something of the.
A man can change his ways.
Not even sure if I'm gonna be reviewing this. Like, I just. Like, the enemy designs are kind of neat, I guess. For the Faraday section.
Have you checked the Sanctuary shop recently? I believe there are new items.
Let's give an information positive. Let's actually try to review this. Actually, I did give a positive for Volter's voice acting, so there you go. I am still considering another interaction negative to combat.
You're under no
Because it's
obligation to
post-game
open
content,
this, of course. I just can't
they
work
ramp
out
up the
why you
difficulty,
would.
and it just shows how hollow the difficulty is. And how like hollow the combat in general is.
I don't mind admitting I'm rather looking forward to more action. Too many years sitting at a desk.
I know exactly how you feel.
Shall we go then? The estate has been abandoned for years. but there are definite signs of life here. I think we've found Mary Godwin's hiding place, all right. This place represents everything General Turner despises. Old money, aristocracy, nepotism. You may find when you meet him that you have something in common. You're both revolutionaries.
Then why does he want me dead?
You stopped being a rebel. You became king.
Sure.
The Godwins had curious notions about art. No wonder Witchcraft Mary turned out the way she did. She probably grew up looking at these things.
Why do these ballerina sculptures have glowing eyes?
I almost feel like they're watching me. The sooner we get off this island. What a surprise.
These are actual...
They're alive. I'd heard the Godwins kept some sort of zoo, but who keeps Balverines? I never really believed those rumors about this estate being the largest menagerie. If the Godwins were mad enough to keep Balverines, who knows what else we'll find here.
Corpse moth, demonstrating at last that butterflies can become zombies too. Celibate hares, also known as monk rabbits. These are the last remaining in existence. Topiary swan, vicious and extremely dangerous. Approach with caution. Okay. What the heck was that? Combustible Dover monkeys. Highly nervous and prone to exploding at the sight of strangers.
There's the main house. Come on. Witchcraft Mary has to be somewhere in this demented zoo.
Why is it all electrified? Why is it always electrified fences? Where's the treasure, K9? Or are there too many enemies around suddenly? Invisible chickens, please take care not to step on their invisible eggs. Predator squirrel, rarely seen or heard until it lands on your shoulder and bites your head off. Calmer chameleons. You won't be able to spot them, but They come and go. Sand furry hood.
I'd heard her experiments involved electrical currents. They make good deterrents, too. We could use something like this at the keep. Let's go. There must be a way around them. It looks more and more like Mary swapped one prison for another. Except she's in charge of this one. She even keeps notes on her subjects. Another of the rumors about Witchcraft Mary. Necromancy. I never thought there was any truth to it. Someone's definitely been digging up corpses, though. I'm not sure I want to know why. But I'm guessing this has something to do with it.
Okay.
These are like no hollow men I've ever seen. They're much more ancient. They're trying to stay out of the light.
Okay, you can only hurt them when they're in the light.
It's true then. Mary has been playing with dark magics.
Not really trying that hard to stay out of the light.
What is she thinking, creating Hollow Men? It's against nature. It's obscene. If she successfully created Hollow Men, I can't imagine what else she's managed to do. We should collect all her research papers. She may belong in a cell, but this is science the world has never seen the likes of before. Doesn't look like we're getting around these gates, but there must be some way of cutting the power to them. I think I can shut this down. It's not too different to the generator in the keep's torture chamber. Oh, great. Get ready for some company. Keep those things away from me. These circuits are unlike anything I've seen before. She must have trained them to protect the generator. I'm working as fast as I can.
Oh, shit. It's interesting, I guess. It's adding a little niggle to the whole Parliament thing.
She must have trained them to protect the generator.
I do think I'm not sure if we're gonna give it a positive. It was positive worry or not.
I'm working as fast as I can.
Is this lantern also light? Maybe?
These circuits are unlike anything I've seen before.
Probably not really. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't count. And I'm just luring myself into a corner for no reason.
She must have trained them to protect the
By
generator.
the time you lure them into it, yeah, it just... the light is gone. It's an interesting concept, poorly executed, which
I'm
is
working as fast as I can.
really most of Fable. To be honest.
These circuits are unlike anything I've seen before.
At least thumbs up.
That should do the trick.
Oh, Fable. Interesting concepts, poorly executed.
The generator was quite crude. Nothing like Faraday's technology. To fight side by side. That knowledge with Faraday's machines. Who knows what they could accomplish? Well, we can either try to wade through the rubble, or we can find another way in.
Why are we even getting big spots of money now?
Such as that cave over there. It seems more like Witchcraft Mary's style, anyway. Let's hope she keeps her pets out of the house. This was probably one of the best stocked cellars in Albion once. Smells like most of it turned to vinegar. It didn't stop someone from emptying these bottles, though.
I don't even bother with freaking dick spots. Should I even bother with this game in general anymore? I will give the DLC this. The combat design isn't as bad as the...
You hear that? Come on.
It is as bad as Understone. Mostly, anyway.
Hobs. I was wondering when we'd come across them. It just isn't a proper zoo without hobs. We should leave them sleeping. Godwin.
They're gonna wake up anyway.
We should step lightly, though I doubt any noise on Earth could wake them.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Each time you kiss my gills,
Is
it
that
gives
dead
me
fish
fishy
talking?
chills. And when you touch my scales, my little fishy heart fails.
You'd think they'd lose.
Baby, don't you treat me rough. Can't you see I'm already stuffed? And tell me that your love is earnest, or you're as bad as a taxidermist. One more time. Each time you kiss my gills, it gives me fishy chills. And when you touch my scales, my little fishy heart fails.
I don't think it deserves a positive by itself.
Just when you think it can't get any worse. An indoor graveyard. At least there's only one wisp. We should be safe. Here's another of Mary's notebooks. She mentions General Turner in this one. Sounds like he won her over to his cause. Oh, hell. Here we go again. How are such creatures even possible? We have to put an end to this.
Right. Should I even bother going back and forth?
What kind of monstrous
Stay by
creation
where the
is
light's
this?
going to be eventually. Until it returns.
Mary has taken her experiments too far. It's like no Hollow Men I've ever seen or heard of before. Take care. Those flames are unnatural. How are such creatures even possible? I'm not sure how many more of these encounters I can expect.
Extreme was telling said the potion he wouldn't try. Jeremiah Glack, prettier than she used to be. Or Jeremina. Great uncle Andy Goodwin, the first scientist in the Goodwin family. Augustus Felony, a member of a transmogrification club. Mr. Nibbles. Just Mr. Nibbles.
More hobs. What the hell is wrong with them? As if regular hobs weren't bad enough. What are all these hellish
My
experiments
hobs
for?
are multiplying. Electrifying.
General Turner has got a lot to answer for. We wouldn't be in this mess if he hadn't won Witchcraft Mary over. Not surprised. You haven't met him, but believe me, he's the most charismatic, most persuasive man you'll ever meet.
Anything in here worth? He's like missing an entire outfit on our island because I didn't search it. Yeah.
We must be getting close to her. Whatever she's been doing with these creatures, we're gonna find out soon. Better get your weapon ready. I'm noticing a pattern here. We walk in, things try to kill us. Told you.
Poison Valkyrie.
Only a sick mind could have created this nightmare.
It's literally giving me a headache. I might just be having a headache. That's nothing to do with the game, but still.
Where are you, man? What has she been doing to these creatures? Wait. We should
Okay.
find this island. Only a sick mind could have created this nightmare.
If you say so.
those vats.
What about one of those bats?
I'm not sure how much more of this place I can take. Can you hear that? It must be her. Come on.
Didn't they create a hollow poison ballerine? Hob? Baba Hob? Is she literally not gonna get any characterization before she actually turns into whatever enemy we had to fight now? Is it the Hob?
You cannot defeat me. I am at one with the ancient creatures of this world.
This is just a boss rush, kind of.
You think you have the right to destroy us? We are the essence of Albion. We are stronger. We are more alive.
Can I get a positive for the music? I mean, it's...
No, not this form again. Please don't let me live this way. Kill me, I beg you.
She doesn't know what she's saying. We should take her back to the keep. She needs special care.
Okay. I mean, it's just...
Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
Huh? What happened to the audio? Hello?
We'll do what we can for her. When she's well enough, perhaps we can send her to a more adequate facility. She needs more help than we can give her. We still need to find General Turner. I'll meet you in the records room. Perhaps Hobson and my men have uncovered his location.
Misguiding disturbance he may be, Witchcraft Mary never intended to harm anyone except perhaps herself. She can now get the help she needs, and who knows, her research may prove useful one day. We might have enough for the penultimate magic. At least see like what that looks like. We still need 100 seals to... Maybe that's exactly what we get from our last... I don't look like our appearance changes that much for magic. Interesting.
What happened?
It was Turner. He's been here all along. He never left the island.
Well, where's Hobson?
He took him. Turner's been playing with us, playing with you. This is what he wanted all along, to lure you into a trap. He's been using hidden passages behind the walls. He's somewhere in the prison. I don't care what happens to Hobson, but we have to find Turner. He left through here. I know it's a trap, but I'm not sure Turner realizes who he's dealing with. He hasn't seen you fight like I have. We should be careful. He must have something prepared for us. This is the pit. If he's hiding with all these lunatics...
Stabbed. Dead. Time of death, 6 o'clock. No change in condition noted since that hour. Probable cause of death, massive head trauma, or a virus.
Okay. You have no glowing trail this time?
Prognosis not good. Will definitely live. And I'd prefer it was otherwise, for personal reasons.
Looks decent for having been hit on the head. Patient's complexion is still very pale. Recommendation is to continue administering leeches at regular intervals. Pupils continue to appear dilated. Patient is fine, but I should really get my eyes checked out. I could have something serious. Patient shows no signs of consciousness, except when awake. Condition worsening, and it is possible there is internal hemorrhaging. This depends primarily on what's going on inside the patient's body and what hemorrhaging is.
He set them free. The bastard set them free.
Of course he has. Okay. After completing quest, how did we just now complete a quest?
A little something new has appeared in the Sanctuary's shop. Care to have a
Head
look?
up.
The armory is at your disposal. Tactical situation call for a different weapon?
Yeah. This is the only evil thing. I'm not even sure what that means. Is earning guild seals from evil expressions. It's like 2 guild seals? Let's give us gold per hit, which isn't exactly that useful, so. Freaking prisoners were not once out. Oh. Hello.
At least they're out of their misery now.
You're hurt.
I'll be all right. I'm no hero, though.
Stay here. I can deal with Turner alone.
I'm sure you can. You have powers the rest of us can only dream of. There might be more coming. Go. I'll hold them off while I can.
Oh no, not that guy. Hobson. He's our favorite character who we haven't given any positive to her.
It's all right, Hobson.
There was no third prisoner. It was all him.
Shh. It's time for your treatment, Your Majesty. You're awake, Your Majesty. Good. I was afraid I might have set too high a charge. But then, you have powers the rest of us can only dream of. Hobson was mistaken. There was a third prisoner. General Turner, the finest soldier I ever served under, the finest man I ever knew, died 6 months ago. I couldn't save his life, but I wasn't going to let everything he believed in die with him. You see, it's time for a true revolution. And how does one bring down a king? How does one bring down a hero? By becoming one. Forgive me, Your Majesty. It worked. to the end of kings and queens.
And to become the evil version of us.
All hail the King of Albion.
Or the
Do
good
you
version
see
of
now
us?
Who the real enemy is? I am you. And only one of us can live. Leave my dog alone. Do you know how many people I've seen die for someone else's cause? How much blood I've seen spilled in the name of the crown? And how many have wasted away in prisons like this one just for speaking their minds? You called yourself a revolutionary, but what changed? We swapped one ruler for another. What gives you the right to dictate our lives? Your hero blood. Do you think it makes you better than us? Well, now it's my blood too. Witchcraft Mary may have been insane, but her work was inspired. I studied it for years before setting her free. But she didn't know how to use that knowledge. Why become a filthy beast when you can become a god? General Turner wanted a military coup. I had a better idea. I will simply take your place. I've seen how you behave. I've seen how you fight, how you make decisions. I know how to do it. And as King of Albion, I will end the crown forever. I watched Turner rot in his cell, too sick to save. I took care of him as best I could. And I learned the truth about our supposedly glorious Albion. Two identical heroes can't overcome each other. We will be locked in battle forever, always evenly matched. I made sure the prisoners on this floor did some of the work. Now I'm stronger. I've watched you use these powers time and again. But to feel them coursing through me, it's incredible. You showed your worth when you spared Faraday's life. But as long as you wear the crown, you are the enemy of the people. I know many who wouldn't have taken pity on Mary. But that doesn't mean you should decide the fate of a whole country. A soldier must do what is necessary to protect his nation. When I sit on the throne of Albion, I will reverse every bad decision
What bad decision?
and then I will free the people from the rule of the crown. It's a pity you won't see such a glorious day. The people of Albion will rule themselves, and the army will be there to protect them.
I didn't make any bad decisions. I didn't make good decisions. The double wings are only purely cosmetic. Okay.
Another revolution has failed. Perhaps it's as it should be. I don't know that I could ever have given up such power. Just remember this, King. Albion doesn't need you to sit on its throne. One day the people will claim their freedom.
Well, attempted coup has failed. Coup has failed, but you've been confronted with questions that have no easy answer. Are you a hero or politician, a rebel or a monarch? Only you know who you really are. For now, your place in the throne is safe, and Raven's Keep is yours to deal with as you wish. So where the heck is this created?
That was quite an extraordinary and most unpleasant turn of events, if you don't mind me saying so. I never did trust Commander Milton, of course, but to attempt a coup by taking your place, why, it's diabolical. His death should serve as an example to all. And to think he was loyal to a traitor like General Turner. We should be thankful the General was a rather sick man when he was imprisoned, or Milton might have let him walk free.
And we still don't have enough experience to max out all of our skills, which is a shame. This DLC is...
Welcome to the Sanctuary.
Here? Like... There's only one additional positive that I've given to it. And everything else that I could think of would be negatives. And I'm probably just not going to give because I'm tired of being negative on this game, and it's more wasted potential than anything. I could give it a positive to the freaking the comet does some interesting things. Did I say combat? Whatever. And I guess for some other unique things in general, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put that in the notes. We could complete the Marriage of Inconvenience quest just to see what it's like. I also don't know about the whole villager creator. I heard about it, but I have no idea where it is. There is the official villager maker tutorial. But all I need to know is... Well, if you pre-order the game, you can design your own villager. It was a pre-order incentive. This might actually be more of a negative than anything. As a pre-order incentive. It being locked behind a pre-order incentive. That's some bullshit right there. I may have pre-ordered this game, but I'm not sure if the feature is actually like in the game. That might be other reason to give it a negative. I need to put it up here so I can actually see it. Um. Wait, there's a villager maker tool. It doesn't exist anymore. It no longer exists. Huh. This is just kind of a weird thing. Because, I mean, it's an interesting and kind of cool idea for a feature, but it's not actually in the game. It's external, it no longer exists. I'm not sure if I can properly, like, I can't critique it because I don't even know what the villager maker looks like. And, I don't know. Wow. Here's something, that is Ravenscar Keep. There's a quest here. We can go back to the various estates. What the heck is this anyway? Is that just content or something, or is that part of a DLC that we... Oh, there's Driftwood. I don't think we ever actually went to Driftwood. Let's just look at Driftwood.
sir.
Well, hey!
Or is this the, this might be the, we might have just unlocked this from, helping the, that could be an interaction positive? To just bring us up to net neutral? Which would be a 5 out of 10. Exactly. Like, by definition. It could even be too positive. Like, one, the visual design of it is actually very cool.
It's the king! Wow! Cool!
Ah, hello.
I don't know if it's really as cool. I don't know if it's as worthy of an interaction positive as some of the other things you can do. Because it's really a choice. It's just like, oh, there's this side quest we can do that unlocks just what's lesser, but it deserves a positive. I think I'm just desperate for things to actually like praise the game for at this point. Are there actually any businesses here? There's trade items. Sparrow's Caravan. It looks cool, but I'm not even sure if it's necessarily that much worthy of a positive. It looks kind of neat, but
What I like doing is checking the prices in all the shops in every town. You can make a living that way.
there we go. We got. Now I have no idea where it is. Oh wait.
Feel free to look around.
We don't have very many of these in the game. And it's just as well, like it was a steep mechanic anyway. Do we actually have to go up and to get down? This is the most annoying sound in the world. I'm not even sure if this is worth the effort. Like, whatever I get out of this isn't going to affect the review score. How do I even get there? I don't see any place I can actually get up to drop down to it. Yeah, I don't know. It's too late.
Any other business to attend to?
I really want to get on with researching my possible options for what I'll play next. It may be The Sims 3, that's kind of the plan. My backup, if I can't get The Sims 3 running, would be Fable Anniversary. But then I have to figure out about whether I can actually get that running, because it's... I'm going max headroom here for some reason. Because it is also an old game. It is from the games with Windows era, so who knows if it's even going to be feasible without me purchasing the Xbox version, which I would have reason to try and purchase the Xbox version just because I still believe it's actually available, unlike certain other consoles. Like the PlayStation
Are you going
3.
to open that gift, do you think? You did go to some trouble to get it, I remind you.
Not really. But I'll open it. Since for once I actually do have...
That appears to be all of the gifts.
I'm not sure if I've actually given a positive for the Sanctuary in general. That might be something I could give a positive, because for it being a more elaborate way to manage a menu, where you actually get to walk around in it, it isn't actually half bad. Like, I think the feature is actually a net positive, surprisingly. So finally, we're getting up in that neutral territory. And that's probably where we're going to stay. For interaction. Information is where this game shines. So, interaction is easy. It's a 5 out of 10. It is mediocre, by my own definition. There's roughly as much wrong with it as there is good with it. if I were being generous, I could potentially round it up to or not really round it up to a 6 out of 10, but I could bump it up to a 6 out of 10, which would make it merely subpar. I do feel it's ultimately mediocre. It just there's the combat is incredibly dull in my opinion. Granted, I didn't play around that as much as I could have with magic, so maybe the magic would have ended up getting a positive. I did give a positive for spell weaving, that because I do kind of remember there being some interesting things with spell weaving. I just haven't really delved much into magic in either Fable 2 or Fable 3. Interaction, on the other hand, we had to. Okay, so that's 40 total points. So 24. Yeah. So information is 60% positive. So information is a 6 out of 10. I might even be willing to be generous and bump up the information to a 7 out of 10. It's exactly 60% positive on information. So see, 12 plus 12 plus 24 plus 15. So 63 total points. Gotta figure out the number of positives total, which are 12 plus 24, 36. This might actually be a 5 out of 10. I might actually have to bump it up to a Actually, no, it rounds up to 6. It is a roughly 57% positive score. I think it's actually repeating. Let me see here. So, okay, it is, to be precise, the positive score is 57.14 28557 repeating percent positive. This game is a 6 out of 10, which is what I really So, yeah, it is not as good as Fable 2. Which is not what I expected it to be. Like, I think I predicted very early on that this game would be a 6 out of 10. Considering that Fable 2 was a 7 out of 10. Fable 1, or Fable Anniversary, might be an 8 out of 10. We'll see when I get around to it. Did I save? I think I did. I did save. I'll go ahead and save again. And on my review score, 7 out of 10 is a good game. 7 out of 10 is effectively the par. Is par for the course. Then we have like 8, 9, and 10, which are like kind of birdie, double, birdie, triple birdie. This is simply a bogey. This game is a bogey. It is a ball of snot. Okay. Like, I enjoyed parts of it, but like this is like one of the few times where I actually have said, as I was playing it, that I hate it. And part of it was just my mood at the time, but yeah, I was disliking the. Almost every time I was saying I hated the game, it was when I was in combat. Like, I probably should have given this game at least one more negative for the combat, but I think I've already given it at least 2, so I've got to compensate somehow for positives that I may have overlooked. And I would say that if the score didn't quite round up to 6, I probably would have bumped it up to 6, just as because I that is the ability I have granted myself, is that I can either add or subtract a point based on my overall feelings. What was the actual like raw score? I think the raw score of Fable 2 was the total positive ratio of Fable 2 was 67%. And I think here was well 57%. That is just kind of incredible. That is exactly 10% less positive than Fable 2. So like the game, I don't know, like what can I summarize? How can I summarize this? Like the game really fails to really try to improve upon Fable 2. Instead opting to just their idea of improvement is there's only like one thing I could okay, there's a couple of things I can think of as improvements. One would be spell weaving. Like that's actually kind of a cool idea for a feature. wouldn't explore it a lot, but it's a cool idea for a feature. I will also say that the body morphs don't seem as extreme. But then again, I'm playing a male hero, so I mainly gave it a negative because if I had played it as a female hero, I probably would have liked it if they bulk up, especially since in this case, I imagine the way you bulk up is through improving your swordsmanship, and that is kind of a necessity, even more so than in Fable. In Fable 2. So but like the worst or the weirdest, or I'm not sure, like body morph I could think of would be like the one that comes with having invested in will, and that seems to be very subtle, like surprisingly subtle. So I don't think it would save the game if I removed that negative. So but it is still a feature I'd like to see in Fable 4/Fable. Would be the ability to have more direct customization of your character's appearance. And in case you weren't here for that, I'll just reiterate. I think I prefer the idea of unlocking morphs or unlocking ways to alter your appearance based upon whatever morality you have. So, like, the more good your morality becomes, the more options you have to make your character look good. The more evil your character becomes, the more options you unlock to make your character become evil. The more you invest into certain skills, you may unlock ways to make your character look more buff. You can choose to opt out of making your character look buff if you don't want that for your character. If you're playing a female hero, you can have a more athletic build. Another thing that I think is almost absolutely essential, especially if they're going to have the idea of having romance-type quests built into the game, much the way that they were in Fable 2 and 3, they should give you the ability to select your sexual orientation. Granted, if your character is bisexual, then maybe there's a couple ways they could deal with bisexuality. One is to make it random. Just to like randomize the sex of the particular romance partners. The other would be, and probably the better one would be, to just be like, okay, you have to pick one or the other, but like it isn't actually going to do anything mechanically outside of determine what sex a particular romanceable characters are going to be. So in this case, you have Elise, and then you have the housewife that you have to seduce to get her to divorce her husband. As part of a quest. You know, so you can designate your character as a lesbian, but that does not necessarily lock yourself out from romancing male characters. It simply means that the game will generate its quest-based romances appropriately. And again, they could just have a bisexual option that would just randomize it. Particularly if they're, or even just guarantee that, like, if there's more than one, like there is kind of the case here, one of them will be male, one of them will be female. And it will be kind of random. So you either get Elliot or Elise randomly, and then you get, then wherever Elliot or Elise is, it'll either be a housewife or a house husband that you have to deal with later. Well, a good feature to have in general would be to have romanceable NPCs who are worth a damn, or romanceable maybe even have romanceable allies. Or something like, because like basically Mass Effect, like the BioWare games have kind of in particular have really changed the landscape in terms of like what you should want to do with romance in an RPG. So I do feel like what the Fable games have offered so far is just hollow in comparison. I think the other idea would be to just have there be different types of NPCs, and depending on which ones you romance, you'll get like different kinds of quests from them or something like that. And storylines and character development. I don't know what else. Anyway. There's a bunch of things you can do that'll take a few seconds of your time, as well as other things that are a bit more involved. But of course, all of that is entirely up to you. And as always, I thank you very much for watching. And until next